But I must say, on a personal level, I'm having to I spend a couple hours a day just sitting in meditation on this and facing the rebellion in me that goes to the core. It feels like it goes to the core of my being, rebelling against these ideas. So here it's very, very interesting for me to look at this because here I'm a scientist and I'm a person. The science is really clear. Local realism is false. Non-contextual realism is false. Space-time is doomed. It's very, very clear. It couldn't be clearer. And my emotions rebel left and right when I sit there and say, okay, I am not something in space and time. Something inside of me says, you're crazy. Of course you are. And I'm completely attached to it. I'm completely attached to all this stuff. I'm attached to my body. I'm attached to the headset. I'm attached to my car, attached to people. I'm attached to all of it. And yet I know as an absolute fact, I'm going to walk away from all of it. I'm going to die. In fact, I almost died last year. COVID almost killed me. I sent a goodbye text to my wife. So I thought I was.
You
done.
really did.
I sent her a goodbye. I was in the emergency room, and it had attacked my heart, and it had been at 190 beats per minute for 36 hours. I couldn't last much longer. I knew they couldn't stop it. So
that was it.
So that was it. So I texted her goodbye from the emergency room.
I love you, goodbye, kind of thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and that was it. So
were you afraid?
Yeah, it scares the hell out of you, right? But there was. You're just feeling so bad anyway that all that sort of you're scared, but you're just feeling so bad that in some sense you just want it to stop anyway. Yeah. So I've been there and faced it just a year ago.
How did that change you, by the way? Having this intellectual reality that's so challenging that you meditate on, it's just an interface, and one of the hardest things to come to terms with is that means that it's going to end. How did that change you, having come so close to the reality of it? It's not just an intellectual reality; it's a reality of death.
It's forced. I've meditated for 20 years now, and I would say averaging 3 or 4 hours a day. But it's put a new urgency. But urgency is not the right word, because it's riveted my attention. I'll put it that way. It's really riveted my attention, and I've really I spent a lot more time looking at what spiritual traditions say. I don't, by the way, again, not taking it with take it all with a grain of salt. But on the other hand, I think it's stupid for me to ignore it. So I try to listen to the best ideas and to sort out nonsense from, and it's just, we all have to do it for ourselves, right? It's not easy. So what makes sense, and I have the advantage of some science, so I can look at what science says and try to compare with spiritual tradition. I try to sort it out for myself. But then I also look and realize that there's another aspect to me, which is this whole emotional aspect. I seem to be wired up, as evolutionary psychology says I'm wired up, right? All these defensive mechanisms, I'm inclined to lie if I need to. I'm inclined to be angry, to protect myself, to have an in-group and an out-group, to try to make my reputation as big as possible, to try to demean the out-group. There's all these things that evolutionary psychology is spot on. It's really brilliant about the human condition. And yet I think evolution, as I said, evolutionary theory is a projection of a deeper theory where there may be no competition. So I'm in this very interesting position where I feel like, okay, according to my own theory, I'm consciousness. And maybe this is what it means for consciousness to wake up. It's not easy. It's almost like I feel like I have real skin in the game. It really is scary. I really was scared when I was about to die. It really was hard to say goodbye to my wife. It really pained. And to then look at that and then look at the fact that I'm going to walk away from this anyway, and it's just an interface. How do I? So it's trying to put all this stuff together and really grok it, so to speak, not just intellectually, but grok it at an emotional level.